a little huggy shot for me.
All right, what are you doing?
I'm not wearing orange.
For decades, and she is considered the leading expert in the coverage of high-profile trials. She's won many awards. If you look at the brochure, you can see her awards listed. She's covered so many of our, I guess, famous and infamous trials. Sirhan, Charles Manson, Patty Hearst, Angela Davis, Daniel Ellsberg, the Exxon Valdez skipper Joseph Hazelwood, William Kennedy Smith. I don't know if you've heard of the OJ trial, but she was covering that. Michael Jackson. She's really, if you were famous and got yourself in hot water, Linda was there. But I don't know if she counts that as the highlight of her career, because while she was still in Bradley Beach in 1959, she was the president of the Elvis Presley fan club. And this young lady, on her own, all by herself, went off to Philadelphia and got Dick Clark to dedicate an entire show to Elvis Presley, and she was there. And we knew from there that something special was going to happen, and now we have Linda Deutsch.
Yes, Elvis is ever in my life. And I wrote a story, actually, when Dick Clark passed away a couple weeks ago, about my adventure going with my friend Florence Lassity, who's here tonight, to American Bandstand to lobby for Elvis. And, you know, it sounds silly, but it was the start of my journalism career, because I put out a newspaper for Elvis. And I had members of my fan club all over the country and in Canada. There were 300 of them. And every night I would go down into the basement of my parents' house, where I had a typewriter, which my father had given me for my 9th birthday. He was very appreciative. He saw that I was going to be a writer. And I would type out these scripts on, I don't know if any of you remember mimeograph machines. But you would type on this carbon paper thing and put it on a drum and put ink all over it. And that was how I put out the Elvis Times. It was pretty amazing. And I had very indulgent parents who picked up the postage for all this mailing. And it was a very special time of my life. But looking out the window here at the Berkeley Garden, which wasn't part of my childhood, I was looking at the great convention center. And I remembered a couple of things. I remembered my graduation from Asbury Park High School, which was at the convention center. And I remembered one of my very first assignments with the Asbury Park Press, which is, I'm an alma mater of that too, and Don Lass, who escorted me in, was there, and Jules Plangier, and all the people who were there at the beginning of my career. But I was, at that point, boundly determined to become an entertainment writer, of all things. And I was assigned to cover one of the very first concerts of the Rolling Stones at the convention hall. They had just come to this country for the first time, and I hated them. I panned it, and that review lives in infamy. Every now and then, people at the press will hold it out and run it again and say, ha ha. I remember the reaction the next day after the review appeared. All these kids were falling the paper, and they all wanted to yell at me. And I could hear the dimes going into the phones. Remember dimes and phones? So those are some of my memories of that time at the shore. I went on to Monmouth College, where I had a wonderful time. And then I moved to California. But I am just so thrilled that here in the audience are my classmates from Bradley Beach Grammar School. My whole table there. And I have other friends, a friend who came in from New York, who's our UN correspondent, and my friend from Monmouth College is here. So I have a representation, really, of all my roots. And this was the place where the seeds were planted, is how I see it. And it was an incredible place, it still is. And I'm really grateful to have this recognition so many years later. To my friends in California, I'm still a Jersey girl. And I will always be proud of that. Thank you so much.
In 1961, Caleb Morris graduated from Asbury Park High School after being captain of his track and field team for 2 years and having won the state championship in the 220-yard dash. He received a track scholarship to Maryland State University, where he met his lovely wife. During his college years, Maryland State became the first university in history to win 2 national NCAA and NAIA championships in the same year. In 1966, Caleb received his degree in health and physical education. CJ, as Caleb Morris is affectionately known, returned to Asbury Park as a teacher in the Bond Street School. He left Asbury Park in 1970 to join the rival Neptune High School. Neptune High School as a director of schools and community relations. In 1974, Caleb was graduated from the Indiana University with a master's degree in physical education. Then he rejoined Neptune High School as its physical education teacher. Caleb stayed at Neptune High for many years, not only as a teacher, but also as an assistant coach of the boys' track and field team. He later became head coach of the girls' track and field team. During his tenure in Neptune, Caleb's track team won 7 state championships. And they broke 5 national records. 2 of his high school female students, and one which is here tonight, both qualified and participated in the Olympic trials to represent the United States. Mr. Morris received many accolades for his outstanding coaching efforts, including including a citation from the New Jersey State General Assembly for outstanding coaching. Outstanding coach by the National Federation of Interscholastic Coaches Association. Coach of the Year by the North Star Ledger. Coach of the Year by the Asbury Park Press. Caleb Morris was inducted into the New Jersey Shore Sports Hall of Fame for outstanding coaching. Little known to most people is Caleb Morris' brief entry into the entertainment world. As a member of the high school singing group, better known as the Juvenile. This group, which ultimately won a recording contract, is now named in the Smithsonian Institute, which has created an exhibit called New Harmonies, celebrating American roots in music. I now introduce to you my friend, and I also was his haberdasher, Mr. Caleb Morris.
I would like to thank the committee for making this a night to remember. This is truly amazing, and I've been blessed. And I want to say thanks to my parents, Arthur and Juanita Flores. I was a mama's boy, and my dad was my role model, but he was cool. I want to thank my wife for allowing me to do the coaching and all the other things over the years. And I want to say how much I love her, and she's the wind releasing my wings, and she's my hero. And we've been married for 46 years. I want to thank my daughters who are here tonight for making me proud. My granddaughter, who I really appreciate because she was my second mom. My son-in-laws and all my family. I would like to take the time to talk about Asbury Park High School. The greatest school, I think, in the state of New Jersey. It's probably the best of the school in the state of New Jersey. We had the greatest teachers, the greatest students, the greatest band, the greatest athletes, Frank Budd, and the greatest coaches. And it's a strange people. I didn't think I would ever be able to get to this position because I did, coach at Neptune High School. And I'm going to tell you how I got the job. Hank Nonnenberg, who's a good friend, also ran track with me the same year that I was in high school, went to Neptune and got a job. And he told me about the opening because I taught at Montessori School, and when I came back to Montessori School, there weren't any positions open. So I went over to Neptune, and the 10 years I worked with Hank Nonnenberg was really great. We broke 4 national records that year, 2 in the hurdles, 1 in the sprints. It was just truly amazing. And what happened was that I remember we had a young man, and I want to tell him a story, that won a scholarship. And he had 9 people in his family. His father died when he was younger. And he had sisters, 7 other sisters and brothers. And what actually happened was that he didn't have any clothing to go to college and won the scholarship. And Hank Nonnenberg bought him clothing. It was called giving back, and from that point on, we gave back. And Hank Donovan was a great coach. I worked with Hank Donovan for 10 years, and then I started coaching the girls. And what happened was we had some excellent girl athletes also. I know people heard about Dawn Bowles. She was the fastest athlete in the country. As a matter of fact, also rated in the world. She only had one other athlete that ran faster. She ran in the Olympic trials at the junior in high school. It was truly amazing, the hard work and dedication that they had just picked up. And the young ladies I had that won state championships and all the other things over the years, we won 5 state championships, and I take my hat off to Coach Eddie Moore, who's better known for basketball than that too, and Dr. Dickerson, who was my assistant coach back then, was Monty back then. Now Dr. Dickerson. And I really appreciate their help. They were excellent coaches. I like to talk about my high school coach, Nick Murley. Nick Murley was probably one of the best coaches anyone could have. He coached Frank Budd, who was a world record champion. And what happened was that he worked us so hard. We used to walk from here, from Asbury Park High School over to Convention Hall to practice. And what happened was, he would work us so hard, so after practice, he would give us a ride home in his station wagon. There was about 6 or 8 of us all packed in his car. And he gave us a ride home. He used to tell me these jokes that were really corny. And they weren't really funny, but we used to laugh because we were laughing at them. And he actually got a lot of his athletes, because of his training methods, scholarships. And I was able to win a scholarship and go on to college. And it was one of the great students ever, because I had 5 offers, and I didn't know where to go. And Frank Budd told me, he said, Maryland had a good program, Maryland State College, you should go to Maryland State College. That's why I went to Maryland. And I'm really proud of all of those things. And let me tell you something. We talk about teachers. My English teacher was Mr. Williams. Guess who his daughter was? Wendy Williams. On TV. That was his daughter. And he was a great coach. Great teacher. And I really appreciate all the help. On behalf of my family and I want to say thank you to everybody. And thanks for all the love and support over the years. Thank you.